Hello, my friends. I'm Brett Larkin, and this class was requested, and you requested yoga for the flexibility impaired. So if you have very little flexibility, this class is for you, and for real. We're really only going to do poses that require very little flexibility, but with the intention of showing you things you can do to slowly improve your flexibility over time. Again, you can always request classes to me in the comments below or in my private Facebook community, yogahackscommunity.com, which I think is where this class got requested. Begin on your hands and knees. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. All I want you to think about for our first moments together are to just close your eyes, relax everything, and just notice your breath. So just let a big exhale release through your mouth. And then inhale, fill up all the way for 3 counts. So inhale, fill your belly with breath. Feel your back broaden as you fill your chest with breath. Fill the ribs all the way up. Maybe feel the collarbones and neck lift and extend. Exhale out the mouth. Good. Another big deep in breath. 3 counts. Fill up all the way. Feel your back broaden and your shoulders widen apart from one another. Exhale out the mouth. Good. Last one. Big breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Good. We're going to take a couple cat-cows. So you've probably done this in yoga before. You curl the toes under. You're just going to spread across the chest. So you don't need any flexibility to do this. You just need to think of broadening your chest. Pull your navel up and in towards your spine as you breathe in. As you breathe out, let your tailbone lengthen to the space between your knees and dip your chin in to stretch your whole spine. Good. And just close your eyes and do this 2 or 3 more times on your own. Breathing in. Arching. Breathing out, rounding, thinking of a Halloween cat shape, chin into chest. Good. Last 2. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale. Come to a neutral spine. I want you to lift your left arm up to the sky. And you're just going to exhale. Thread the left arm underneath your right. And then let the left shoulder hit the ground so you're in a twist. Take the right palm flat to the floor. Bend the right elbow straight up. And just begin twisting your upper body towards the right with an intention of keeping your hips neutral to the ground. So think of lengthening your tailbone back, but then really pressing through that right hand to twist yourself a little deeper. This is just a nice stretch for the upper back. Good. Breathe in, maybe dip your chin to lengthen the back of the neck. Think of energy, your tailbone's lengthening towards the back of your mat. See if you can find more length in the spine here. Full 3 count inhale. 3 count exhale through the nose now. Good. Last one. 3 count inhale. And 3 count exhale through the nose. Good. Use an inhale to press yourself back up to all 4s. We'll do a gentle up cat. And a gentle down cat. Nice. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, thread it through so the right shoulder comes down and you're reaching to the left. Plant that left palm firmly on the floor and begin pressing the floor away from you so you can really spiral your left chest towards the ceiling. From there, draw your abs in and lengthen your tailbone back long towards the back of your mat. Big breath in. 3 counts, fill up all the way. Challenge yourself to make the breath super long. Breathe out through the nose. Get all the air out. Good. 2 more like that. Big breath in. Belly, ribs, chest. Feel the spine get longer as you breathe in. Exhale, draw your navel up and in. See if you can twist a little deeper. So we're starting with just some gentle twists here. Then we're going to go on to stretch the hamstrings, because I think when people say they're inflexible, that's what they're really talking about, right? Hamstrings and hips. Last breath. Good. Let it go. Inhale. Come on back. Good. Next, I want you to step your right foot up so you can carry it if you need to, no problem. And you have two options. I want you to first see if you can place it directly below your knee in front of you. And your second option will be to just take it a little bit wider and have your right toes off the mat and maybe the right heels on the mat. And you might feel that this is just a little easier. We want to stay here for 5 deep breaths. So just settle in. Either toe is out to the diagonal or foot is in front of you. Just see what you can manage. And this, you should feel a stretch in the left psoas, right? So this is a good place to open if we want to do yoga. And I like to rock gently side to side if the foot is wide. So take a deep breath in, 3 counts. Deep breath out. Good, and just 3 more like that. So one of the things that can be challenging when you're working on improving your flexibility is just being able to be comfortable with the sensation of the stretch. And this is where the breathing is everything. So I really want you to inhale. Think of that 3 count inhale we did at the beginning. Feel your chest puff up. Inhale all the way, 3 count exhale out the nose. So in and out through the nose. You can rock gently side to side. Wherever you are, last breath. Good. Take the right foot back. We'll do a little cat-cow. So inhale, always coming back to that to just find the breath. So inhaling, arching. Exhaling, rounding. So just trying to find more fluidity in the spine. Good. And then we'll take the left foot forward. You can always carry it forward. You can have it in front of you, or you can have it off to the side, in which case the left heel would be on the mat and the left toes would be off the mat. Wherever you are, just begin kind of tuning in. So just trying to rock side to side, focus on that 3 count inhale. Think belly, ribs, chest every time. Exhaling, getting all the air out. So another thing I see a lot with students who are struggling with their flexibility is they try to get deeper into the pose by kind of either muscling into it or rounding their spine. So maybe check out now and notice if you have a tendency to kind of round your shoulders in an effort to get deeper into the stretch. And even though it's hard, I'm going to ask you to counteract that intention, because unless we have a long spine, we can't breathe properly. And if we're not breathing, we're not really doing yoga. So I always am going to encourage you to have a nice long spine. Think of gliding your shoulders back no matter what pose you're in, no matter what you're doing. Good. So 3 count inhale. 3 count exhale. And last one. Big breath in. Good. And out. Nice. So come back to all fours now, and then come to stand up however you're most comfortable doing so. I want you to take your feet hip width apart, or a little wider than hip width, so your choice. And then you're just going to fold forward but bend the knees, okay? And then just clasp hold of opposite elbows and just gently traction yourself side to side. Good. From here, gently traction from side to side. So you're clasping opposite elbows. I want your knees to be deeply bent. And just let the back of the neck be long, chin into chest. I know it's going to be tempting to straighten the legs, but for now I just really want you to think of tractioning and lengthening your low back. Good. And then I want you to find either a wall or your couch, or I'm going to grab this chair right here. And if you find you're struggling with forward folds, you don't have the flexibility you want, what I want you to do is place your hands on the couch or the chair, or again, it could be a wall if I just pressed into this wall. And then whatever you're pressing into, I just want you to walk so your arms are straight, but plug your shoulder blades down and back. And then from here, we're gonna let our chest sink forward. So we should be getting a shoulder stretch and a hamstring stretch here. So hopefully you feel this in the back of the legs and you feel like your shoulders are opening too. Really press your hands into the chair. So you're not just kind of like loosely gripping it, hanging out. You're thinking of pressing your thigh bones back. Look down at your toes and make sure they're completely straight, either facing the wall or the chair or the back of the sofa, whatever it is you decided to kind of grab onto. It really can be anything. And plug the shoulders down and back. Let your chest just drop towards the floor. And then find your breath. So 3 count inhale, 3 count exhale. So if you struggle with forward folds or think you have really tight hamstrings, and are maybe struggling with doing even the forward fold we just did with hands clasped at the elbows, and the chair is such a great solution for all of this. So I just encourage you to do this as much as possible because it's a double whammy. We're stretching the back of the legs and we're opening the shoulders at the same time. Deep inhale to the back of the body. And as you exhale, just let your heart sink towards the floor even more. Good. Inhale. Exhale. So now we're going to refine this slightly because right now I just have you here getting a deep shoulder stretch, which is great, but I want you now to pull your belly up and in. Think of lengthening your tailbone back and knitting your front ribs together. So if you take a moment right here to look at the screen, I've had you here, so see how my chest is pressing towards the floor and you're getting the shoulder stretch, which is great, but now I want you to refine. So look at the screen, see how I'm pulling my abs in and lengthening my tailbone back, and now I'm knitting my front ribs closed. So it's like my body's just pulling away from the floor gently, and instead of dipping my body towards the floor in that shoulder stretch, I'm now thinking of moving the crown of my head forward and my tailbone back and pulling my front body in, right? So I'm pulling my front body away from the floor. So now I'm really focused on a long spine. And now you might feel this a little bit more in the hips. And I'm going to encourage you to just wiggle your hips. Wiggle is probably too fast a word. Gently glide your hips to the left and right. Okay, so take the hips to the left. When you do to the left, you should maybe feel a stretch on the right side of the body, and then take your hips to the right and press your left hand into the chair. So again, hips go to the left, really press the right hand into the chair or wall or back of the sofa, whatever you're using, and switch. So if the hips go to the right, you press through the left hand more. If the hips go to the left, you press through the right hand more. So you should be feeling a gentle side body stretch, maybe something in the hips, maybe something in the back of the legs. We're all different, right? Good. Come back to center. Keep the front ribs knit together. So notice if you've kind of collapsed back to the floor, pull the front ribs in, right? We did that at the beginning for the shoulder stretch, but now I want you to work your core. I want you to step the right foot forward and just step the left foot back. And then you kind of need to play here and see where is going to be right for you to hang out. And I want you to think now, so right foot is forward, left foot is back. You're going to notice most likely that you're going to be a little bit in a twist. So it's kind of like your left hip wants to pop up and say hi. So I want you to try to encourage that left hip to round, or not round, but drop down towards the floor. And you notice as the left hip, if you encourage it to drop towards the floor, you're going to feel a deeper stretch in the back of the right hamstring. Now, make sure your low back isn't super rounded. It might be natural for it to be a little rounded, but that's why you have the chair or your table or whatever it is you're using. Honestly, a wall, anything is fine. And begin pressing into it. So you have a long spine. So another option here would be to have yoga blocks, which I sell on my website, and I also sell in my Beginner Yoga Jumpstart course, which has a ton of videos for beginners. But I find a back of a chair can work really well, especially when you're really just trying to get flexibility in the back of the legs. Okay, we're going to take this a step deeper, and I want you to flex your right foot. So your toes of your right foot are now up towards your face. So this should intensify the stretch a lot. Once again, think of pulling your right hip back and dropping your left hip down. And then lengthen your spine. Pull your abs in, knit your front ribs together, and then take your deep yoga breathing. So 3 counts to inhale and pause, 3 counts to exhale and pause. Good. So breathing into the stretch so you can stay longer in the stretch is really the key to keeping, increasing your flexibility. So 3 count, inhale. Just think softness up the back of the leg. Exhale, just think of releasing any tension. Good, last time. Good, exhale. Let's come on up for a minute before we do the other side. Maybe just shake out your hands, and hopefully your arms feel like they've been toning a little bit, because I really want you this whole time to be pressing actively with your hands into the chair or the wall or the back of the table. If you're doing this at a wall, it's a little trickier because you can't step your foot forward that much, but just see what you can do. And again, what I love about using props or stuff in your house is that you do have that ability to use the props to help you make a long spine, right? So let's get back into position. So first, just press your hands into whatever you're using. Make sure your toes are pointing forward and that they're hip width apart. So give yourself a quick check-in. Good, and now step the left foot forward. Turn the right toes out a little bit. And again, it's going to be a little different for everyone. You can always widen your stance left to right so you're more stable. So don't get hung up at this point about like exactly how anything's going to look or, you know, what pose is this or anything. We're just doing stuff to help increase your flexibility, and you should just be personalizing it for you so you feel a stretch. So now roll the right hip down towards the ground. So imagine if you had little headlights attached to each of your hips, they'd both be pointing directly down towards the floor. So it's a constant battle of pulling the left hip back and rolling the right hip forward. And as you do that, you may feel a deeper stretch on the left hamstring and a nicer stretch on the left IT band, the outer side of the leg. So again, drop the right hip much as you can. Take a deep breath, plug your shoulders back, and just breathe into the stretch. 3 count inhale, pause at the top, 3 count exhale. So becoming uncomfortable with discomfort is a huge part of yoga, a huge part of increasing our flexibility, and a great life lesson, right? So when things are uncomfortable or tense, whether it's in a meeting at work or something with our family or this pose, right? Can you breathe through it instead of being reactive and either jumping out of it or wishing you were somewhere else or wishing it was over? Can you just be present with the sensation and not attached to the sensation that it's painful or good or bad or that you're inflexible or not, right? Just be present with the sensation. Let's now flex the left foot. It's going to intensify it a lot. So the left toes are up towards the face. Make sure those arms are still active. So notice if you just kind of collapsed and crumpled in the upper body. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Keep the abs pulling in, front ribs knitted together. Drop the right hip. Keep the spine long. Last 2 breaths. 3 count inhale, nose. 3 count exhale through the nose. Good. Last time. Good. Exhale all the way. Good. Gently bring your feet back. Maybe just give yourself a little moment to breathe before you pop up with the flat back. So breathe. Good. And then exhale, take the hands to the hips or a wall if you kind of struggle with unsteadiness or just still, learning your balance. And you're going to come on up. Okay. Great job. Now let's do our forward fold that we did before this and see how the backs of your legs feel different. So take your feet hip width apart again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees deeply. Clasp hold of opposite elbows once again, chin into chest. And this time I want you to traction side to side, keeping the knees bent. But this time you can slowly maybe play with straightening the legs and just notice if the back of the legs feel different after doing this exercise with the chair or your coffee table or the back of your couch or whatever you used. And just let yourself gently move from side to side. So you'll notice throughout this class I've incorporated also just moving from side to side because I think gentle movements help soothe our body, soothe our nervous system, and that helps us get deeper into a difficult stretch. Think of we rock babies, we rock children. So just kind of rock yourself here. It's just going to help your body kind of open up and help those muscles get nice and long and taffy-like. Good. Bend the knees. Let's roll up slowly, 1 vertebra at a time. So you're going to roll up like your head was the heaviest thing in the world. I want you to round your low back, round your mid back, round your upper back, and slowly come up. And if you needed to look at me to sort of see what that looked like, I'll just do it again really quickly. So you can do it again with me if you need to. All right, so it's just a slow spinal roll up. Good. And we're going to keep working with the hamstrings now. So take the feet wide. And now, this is going to seem silly, but I want you to have your toes in and your heels out. So you look pigeon-toed. So it should look a little strange. And then same thing, we'll inhale, look up, and exhale, fold forward. Try to keep a nice long spine the whole time you fold forward. And then take your hands either to the floor, or again, this is a really nice place to take your hands to coffee table right? Coffee table height is usually right around here. So again, feel free to pause this video, move around, hopefully this is on your laptop or phone, or use the stuff in your living room in front of your TV. Other option would just be to press your hands into your thighs here and work right here. Now when you look down at your feet, I want your heels to be a little bit wider than your toes, and hopefully you're feeling a stretch in the back of your legs here. And you're feeling a stretch hopefully on the outer shins. And if you're not, I want you to turn your toes in more and your heels out more, so you're really pigeon-toed. And then resist the urge to kind of round forward and keep thinking of a long spine. So press your thigh bones back in space, or if you have those hands on the coffee table or couch or whatever, just think lengthen the spine. So breathe in, tailbone to crown of head. Length, think of length between every bone in your vertebra. Exhale, pull your navel in, breathe out all the way. Good, 2 more like that. Big breath in. Big breath out. Good, last time. Huge in. Huge out. Good, last breath. Good, exhale all the way. Slowly come up. Good, you're gonna hop your feet together. Hopefully the backs of your legs feel really different. Let's come on down to the floor for our final stretch. So I want you to have the soles of the feet on the mat. You can just lie down. If you are working on your flexibility, this is the #1 thing you can do for your hips. I want you to take your left ankle over your right, and then just pull the right knee into the chest. So take your arms through, and you can hold on behind the thigh, or you can hold on to the shin. It really doesn't matter. It's super important that this left foot is flexed. Doesn't matter if the right foot is flexed. So sometimes I just like to take ankle rolls and just kind of relax the right foot. But the left foot, because we should be feeling a stretch in the left hip, really should be flexed here. This is another thing I notice with people who aren't so flexible, is that sometimes to get into this position, they have to crane up. So if that's you, no big deal. I just want you to grab some pillows from the couch, or again, if you have my yoga block, you can use that, and I want you to place it under your head. So your head is supported, so you can stay here and breathe and be relaxed in this stretch, instead of rounded shoulders and craning your head up. So again, just pause the video, run get a pillow or a yoga block if your head is not able to be on the ground. Good. Just take a deep breath. Exhale all the way. Here I want you to think of relaxing your shoulders and relaxing your jaw. Breathe into the area of your left hip. So think of widening your left hip with your breathing. And then exhale all the way. Good. Again, breathe into the left hip, widen it with your breath. As you exhale, just think of dissipating any tension. Make sure that left foot remains flexed. You can also inhale here and silently say to yourself, let. And exhale, silently say to yourself, go. Good. 2 more. You can refine this by thinking of the left knee. So this left knee here gently pushing forward energetically as you pull the right knee in. So it's like left knee forward, right knee in for the deepest, deepest hip stretch. Make sure that left foot stays flexed. Good. Now keep everything exactly as is. I'm just going to have you drop the left foot to the floor. So the left foot's just going to drop to the floor. So do you see what just happened there? Nothing changed about this shape. I just dropped the left foot to the floor. Good. And now just hold the outside of the left ankle or left shin with your right hand. Make sure that left arm is now open. So take it in a cactus arm shape, bent elbow. So you're opening across the chest, right? And just take a couple deep breaths here. Hopefully you're feeling the hip stretch continue all the way through the IT band, and you're getting some really nice stretch and sensation right around here. Left arm is open, so this is also a little bit of a chest opener and a twist. Try not to tug the knee, but instead just think of gravity doing the work for you. And again, it's totally okay to hold the calf or the outer shin, or I usually just rest my hand on my ankle. Deep breaths. Just find that 3 count in breath, 3 count out breath. And if you're working on your flexibility, another kind of mental shift I want you to make, in addition to really focusing on your breath as a way to ease into the sensation of the stretch, moving side to side to soothe yourself into the stretch, and focusing on a long spine as opposed to getting deeper into the stretch. So kind of all the tips I've given so far. My other big one for you would be to try to hold and stay in these stretches way longer than you want to or need to. The reality is it really takes the body 2 to 5 minutes to really open up in a lot of these areas. So of course, stretching for 10 seconds or 30 seconds is better than nothing. But in order to get the long-term flexibility result that you're probably going for, holding for much longer amounts of time is really going to help you progress. So it's staying 2 to 5 minutes or more. And if you're wondering, who has that kind of time to just sit around and stretch, I created a whole course just about that called my Always Be Stretching Yoga Hacks course, which is appropriate for total beginners. It just shows you how I stretch throughout my whole day while I'm reading and watching TV and going about my daily life, so I can hold stretches for 2 to 5 minutes or 3 to 5 minutes on a regular basis every day. I'm gonna take a deep breath into the left hip. Exhale all the way. Good. Last time, big breath in. Exhale completely. Good. Last time, really inhale, inflate the left hip with your breathing. So think of the left hip expanding as you breathe in. Good. Just dissolve any tension as you breathe out. Good. Last time. Good. Slowly come back to center. Place the soles of your feet on the floor, and I just want you to take a moment, just notice how your left and right hip feel different, if at all. So just take a moment to breathe, feel your back expand along the mat. And exhale all the way. Good. Deep breath in. And out. Good. Take your right ankle over your left knee. I'm going to scoot a little bit this way just to make sure I stay in the frame of the camera, and then hold on to the back of the left thigh. So it's the right foot that flex now, and the left ankle will just take in some gentle circles, just like we did on the other side. Make some circles with the ankle, and then gently push the right knee away. So you can press the right elbow into the right knee, pull the left knee into the chest, breathe into that stretch on the right hip. So again, think of sending breath energy into the right hip, breathe in. Letting it dissipate as you breathe out. Good. As you inhale, as always, think of your shoulders relaxing, your back expanding along the mat. Notice if you have tension in your collarbones. Exhale, relax the jaw, relax the tongue. Good. 3 more deep breaths here. Keep that right foot really active. So keeping this right foot flexed is going to protect your knee joint, get a deeper stretch in the hip. Last breath. Good, and then we'll just take this whole situation over to the left. So I'll show this a couple times, but you just keep the legs exactly as they were. You're just going to drop everything over to the left. I'll show it again. So you were here. You're just going to release the arms. You can take the left hand to the outside of the right ankle or the outside of the right shin. Good, and then just make sure that that right arm is in that goalpost shape, elbow bent, so it's opening, so you have a nice open chest. That right shoulder's tractioning towards the ground, left hand outside of shin or ankle. And again, you're just going to let the right knee, let gravity be your friend. The right knee is just going to traction down towards the floor. Just breathe here. As you breathe in, think of sensation and light. Even if it seems a little kooky, just breathe in. Think of inflating the area of your right hip. And as you exhale, just dissipate any tension. As you breathe in, you can silently chant or just say to yourself, let, as you breathe in. And go as you breathe out. And I'll be quiet so you can stay here 3 more breaths. Just saying to yourself, let on the inhale or go on the exhale, or just counting. 3 counts in, 3 counts out. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Again, think gravity's your friend. Good, and then slowly come back to center. Take both soles of the feet on the ground. Lengthen your legs long, but then draw the right knee into the chest. So I want you to clasp your hands in this interlock. Pull the right knee towards the chest, and then take the right knee a little bit to the right, and then pull it down towards your right shoulder for an even deeper stretch. Now activate the left foot. So point the left toes straight towards the ceiling, press the left thigh bone down, pull the right knee towards your shoulder. So the elbows are deeply bent. Good. Big breath in. Feel your back widen along the mat. Exhale. Release, let go. And at this point in the practice, you can take some gentle sighs out the mouth. So breathe in. Just exhale. You can go through the mouth. Good. Last one. Pull the right knee deeper towards the right shoulder. Nice. Exhale. Let it go long. Pull the left knee into the chest. So interlace the fingers, really pull the left knee down, and then take it out to the left, and then pull the left knee to the left. So it's the left knee is really coming towards the left shoulder rather than just straight into the chest. Good. Activate the right foot, turn the right toes towards the sky, press your thigh bone down into the mat. So right thigh bone presses down, pull the right knee in. Again, breathe in, expand along the chest, relax your shoulders and your jaw and your trapezius muscle so the shoulders are far away from the ears. Shimmy them down the mat if you have to. Big breath in. Exhale, nose or mouth. Good. Big breath in. Nose or mouth. Last breath in. Exhale all the way. Good. Take both legs long. I hope you enjoyed this practice to help you gain flexibility, even if you consider yourself flexibility impaired. Leave me a comment below. Let me know how this class went for you. Remember, you can always request classes in the comments or on my private Facebook group, yogahackscommunity.com. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed this sequence. That will help me a lot. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And of course, if you want to go deeper with me, you can always join my Beginner Yoga Jumpstart course, which is perfect for beginners, or my Always Be Stretching Yoga Hacks course, where I teach you how to stretch throughout your daily life, which I mentioned in this video, at my website, brettlarkin.com. From my heart and my home to yours, namaste.